All right, you guys, so welcome to We in the Garden Wednesday. Today we're going to be focusing on our indoor garden system. This is Bloomsy. If you guys have seen any other videos, I will try to get those links, so make sure you guys are checking them out. But today we are going to actually be cleaning the system, and I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer to show you guys what I like to do before I clean the system. I'm actually a little bit late on, well, not cleaning, but refreshing the system. So it's going to get all new water in the tank, like completely new water. It's going to top off on all the food, and we're also going to top off on the hydrogen peroxide. And then I'm going to show you guys one other little step that I like to do that's totally optional. You don't have to do it, but it's just something I've done. And I've noticed while I do have some green algae inside of my system, I haven't done a full clean out since I've got it yet. It's not a terrible amount that I do have, and then going forward I'm going to be just trying to work on not having that at all. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to move it a little bit closer. Hopefully it's not too bright for you guys. Is it too bright? There we go. That's a little better. So what I have right here is a spray bottle, and inside of it I just have my 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide. And so before I take this apart, I'm going to be going inside of each one of the little pods, and I like to spray the inside with some hydrogen peroxide, and that's just what I've been doing, and everything's been working out really good. I think going forward, I had another video that I didn't get posted for you guys, but I was talking about maybe removing these two tomato plants. These are my original tomato plants. They are still growing. I think they're looking a little rough now because I am definitely due for a refresh. And there's actually tomato plants growing all back there. And then I have some cuttings from these that are also growing over in the kitchen. But they just take up a lot of space, and I kind of want to start putting more flowers and things like that in here. So that's pretty much why I want to take those out. And plus these are tomatoes, and then I have tons of tomatoes outside. So like I said, I'm just taking this, and like, see, I'll pull it out. The ones that have a little bit of like green in there, let me switch to this side for you guys. And then I just like, because this is such a big wide mist, I just spray just a little bit of that in there. And we're just gonna continue to do that. And then I'll show you guys once I set this up for the refresh. Now, I don't spray this last row down here. I know you guys probably can't see it. I don't spray that one just because it's going to go directly into the water tank, and I'm about to refresh that. So I'll leave that one, but the rest of it does get sprayed. All right, so now that I have already went through and checked all the roots and I have it ready, we're just going to go ahead and set a towel on the floor right there. Then we're going to turn it so you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. There we go. And then we are going to turn it off, press that button. And then I'm also going to hit the switch in the back. And then I'm going to unplug it from the back there. We can move that out the way. We're going to remove our lid right here that needs to be cleaned off. I'm just pulling up the tank in there. And then, gonna unlock it. And I'm just going to lift this whole system and put it over here, and then I'll meet you guys over at the sink where we're going to go ahead and clean it out and get everything refreshed. Boom. And now it's right there. And we have this over here. I want to show you guys what that looks like because it looks gross. All right, you guys, so now we're over here at the sink. This is what it's looking like inside of here. It looks kind of gross. Let's see if we can turn that. So that's what it's looking like right now. Not so hot. It's looking real kind of gross. Let me sit this back up. All right, so what I'm getting ready to do now is I'm going to pour this out. Then I'm going to spray it with some hydrogen peroxide. And then we're going to start to actually clean this out. I actually haven't been using any soap inside of mine since I've got it, and I've been able to clean it out really good, and I haven't had any issues doing that. So I just recommend, you know, cleaning it however you clean it. So we're going to speed this up a little bit while I get this cleaned up. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, be sure to drop them down below or send me a comment, and I'll be more than happy to explain to you exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so now once I wiped it all out, I'm gonna go ahead now and spray it again with some of the hydrogen peroxide, just in case there was anything on the rag that I was using. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some more hydrogen peroxide in here, and then we're gonna rinse it out with clean water, and then we will start the process for filling this back up. So before I rinse this, I'm gonna spray it first. So before I fill this back up, because it's going to take a little while to do so, I'm going to go ahead and start preparing all of the plant food that's going to go back in here. Now usually you have to kind of dissolve the plant food just a little bit. So while this is filling up, I'm going to go ahead and let the plant food start to dissolve. To do so, I just get some warm water. So I got a cup over here I can use, maybe. Actually, that's not going to be big enough. I'm going to use this one. So to get started, I'm just going to get some warm water, like so. I want to get a good amount because I want to make sure all of my plant food can dissolve. And then we're going to be dissolving 1 teaspoon of the plant food for every 2 gallons. Since I'm doing 6 gallons, we're going to put 3 teaspoons into some hot water and let that dissolve. All right, you guys, we are now in the home stretch of getting this done. Now, to be honest, this thing gets pretty heavy. So what I do, I put it on the floor and I'm gonna start to fill it up. I don't know if you guys can see down in here, but I'm only gonna fill it up to the top of the short gill that's in there. And then we'll push it back in place. And then that's why I have my handy dandy watering can over here. This is gonna provide all the extra water that I'm gonna need to get this into the full filled up position. And once we get that done, we'll go ahead and pour our food in over here. Anything that's left on the bottom, I'll add more water, let that set. That way I can get all of the food. And then we'll also add our hydrogen peroxide. This is what I use right here. Works really good. And then we'll get the system turned back on and we are good to go. So if you guys want to stick around for this part, you can. I'm going to speed it up just so I don't take up too much of your time. And if you guys are liking this video, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and click the bell so you guys don't miss out on all the other videos I have coming to you guys. And with that said, let's go ahead and get this thing filled up. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the tower actually placed back on. It's pretty easy to do, as this is not as heavy as it looks. I'm just going to line that back up on top, like so. Let's turn it a little bit more for you guys. There you go. All right, so I actually didn't have very much water coming off the bottom of there, which is good. Just peeking in there really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this back down in there. That's the pump. I just dropped that back in there. We're gonna lock the sides of that. Get our power plugged back in. Turn that on. Give that a second to boot. And then we're just gonna go ahead and fill this up. Got that filled up. Make sure this is dry up here. Place our lid back in, and then we'll see if it's ready to turn back on. All right, so there you have it, everyone. We have just completed a tank refresh on our garden. I look forward to everything in here thriving. We are going to go ahead and harvest off this kale right here, let that continue growing, and just go ahead and make sure that we're taking really good care of it. I am going to be switching to doing a tank refresh every 2 weeks versus once a month, just because I brought some strawberry runners from outside in my other garden and they are starting to take off. This one's looking a little bit crazy, but starting to come back. And then I've also found that they recommend doing it once every 2 weeks for better health on like the strawberries. So hopefully that these will pick up and start looking a lot better, but everything else is growing nicely. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more content like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next garden video. Bye.